Hello guys, welcome. I am Samantha the Introvert, and today I want to give you my personal recap on episode 10 of Pitbabe series 2. So let's get into it. Okay, this is the part that confused me. We see Winner talking to Tony about him not getting Charlie, but didn't we see Winner and Dean died in an explosion? But what I am pretty sure is that I feel like Winner has an ability because he's scared of Tony's action, and that is that staff that Tony's carrying around. Now, I know Tony, he knows he has some control over Winner because I feel like he has a chip in Winner's head too. Then we see Babe drove Willie's race car to where Charlie is. I am surprised Willie cooperated to tell Babe where Charlie is, even though Babe is very violent when it comes to his loved ones. Finally, Babe is reunited with his lover, but what happens with Willie? Well, they took Willie to the lab to let Chris remove the chip out of Willie's head. Now the question remains, does the chip gives you the ability, or is it just a way to use to control people by Tony? We then see Alan on his phone with someone who went to where Dean crashed, but the person said there are burns, but there is no body. So that could mean Dean is still alive or Tony removed Dean's dead body. Everyone, including Jeff, is trying to calm Alan because Alan is hearing Dean is dead, but Alan believes Dean is alive. Alan lashes out his anger on Jeff. But Alan then realized what he did and went back to apologize to Jeff. Facing the reality that Dean may be dead or not, overall Charlie blames himself that because Tony wants him, he caused problems for everyone else. Nobody knows the closeness to family than Alan and Babe because Dean was there for day one along with Winner and Wade. We see Sonic on the phone talking to someone about postponing his trip back to Paris because of this incident. North, who overheard what Sonic said, went to talk and asked if, other than Dean, is he the reason for the postponing of the trip. Now, that's kind of a complicated question to answer for Sonic. Sonic said he blames himself for what happened to Dean because before the race he told Dean that he doesn't trust Dean, and ever since Dean came back, Sonic had made it very hard for Dean. North calmed Sonic by saying it's not his fault to blame himself because it is no one's fault and it is expected to still be upset with Dean, and it was Dean's decision to sacrifice himself. We then see a kiss from them. Honestly, this kiss took over all the international fans who watching this because they have been waiting for this moment. We then at lab with Tony and Winner, and we see Dean in critical condition on a bed. So he is alive, but how? How is Dean alive? Dean is in critical life or death moment and Winner is perfectly fine. While Tony talking to Winner about a potential plan, Winner is taking photos of Dean. Later we see Charlie looking sad and Babe, who saw, came to check on Charlie. Charlie then looked at Babe saying that Babe once said that if he wants to wear the ring, he should. Now, Charlie decided to wear it, and he gave the ring to Babe so Babe can properly put the ring on him. By the way, changed to put up a poster of the final episode indicating that Babe and Charlie will be getting married. Yep, there's gonna be a wedding. And then when they did put up that, they put out the tickets. Before I even looked, the damn ticket was sold out. And before you know it, they're back to their usual sex style, but on a bike. Only they both were and pleasuring themselves. They keep surprising us. Now, whoever came up with this idea is a freak itself. The next day, Charlie woke up to Babe cutting apples in a cute bunny style. I swear, every time Babe gets that good sex from Charlie, he be cooking the next day. But Babe is very happy with Charlie, and I love that for them. Looking back, can you remember how Babe was before Charlie? And now with Charlie, he's so calm and loving and just happy. Anyways, Charlie is saying if Dean is still alive, then maybe Tony has some immortal abilities because Tony didn't die either. Then we see North, who went to see Sonic because after that kiss, North felt the connection and finally confessed to Sonic. Sonic, who waited like forever for this confession, said he likes North too, and now it's official. Tony out here thinking about the time he grew Babe and maybe he felt love, but Babe saw how cold hearted Tony was and left. Honestly, I don't get why he's even thinking about Babe with the things that he caused. These two is just confusion in itself, but mostly Chris because he led Pete to be a bit distant. Then came Charlie and Babe to discuss a thought they had, and that is to take some of Willie's blood to test to see if any of the chemicals is left, to know what exactly was used so they can reverse that method to get the nullified drug. They ended up having to forcefully take the blood from Willie, and at this point I feel very sorry for Willie. Willie then looked at Charlie and said what he is doing is no different from what Tony did to him. Then on the field, here comes Winner to Alan, but he is there to negotiate. Winner then showed a picture of the body injured Dean, hoping to make a deal with Alan in return to not killing Dean, and of course that worked. Winner told Alan to meet up with Tony, but now can he do that without even sounding an alarm with Jeff or the others? So Alan told Jeff he needs to prepare for the surgery but will not tell or let Jeff go with him. That is Alan's excuse and it worked. Homeboy really making a deal with the devil himself. Meanwhile at home, some time has passed and Jeff got a bit worried and tries calling Alan but no one answered. And that is because Alan is in the process of getting superhuman ability by Tony experiment because Alan heard that this can heal his back pain, but making it with a real devil is crazy. Then we see Charlie helping Babe clean, but while he was cleaning, Charlie got an intense vision, and when I look at it, Alan's face was showing a little bit. Now either Charlie didn't see or he purposely didn't tell Babe. After the experiment, we see Alan got super strength, but he was very wild, and to control Alan, Tony pressed a button on his cane. Turns out Tony put a chip in Alan's head, and the cane as a transmission device used any time to send a shock to anyone who misbehaves. Tony is very evil. He's an evil man, and Alan really made a deal with him. And not thinking about it, Tony had an ace card up his sleeve. Alan, you dumb fuck, you fucked up. You better pray in your case, Babe will forgive you, or worse, Jeff, damn. Jeff better not give you no ass for like 3 weeks. Speaking of Jeff, while Jeff was waiting happily for Alan, he got a call from the hospital to inform Jeff that Alan never went to do his surgery. Jeff then tries calling Alan again because at this point many hours have gone and now Jeff is super worried, but again Jeff didn't get any answer. Jeff then calls everyone because it's not normal for Alan, and then thinking that maybe Tony kidnapped Alan. Nope, he's not kidnapped. He willingly went to Tony, but you will never know that yet. Then in came Alan, walking like nothing happened. Dude, you caused a panic attack. After telling Jeff a lie that he did a surgery but it's not at the one hospital that he should have done it. But then Kim noticed something about Alan when he was hugging Jeff. Maybe he noticed the scar in the back of Alan's ear? Turns out, in order for the people around Alan to not suspect him, Tony gave Alan a fake document from a doctor on doing a surgery that's similar to what he did. All Alan has to do is perfect the lie, but Tony also made a deal to Alan so he can go through all this, and that's Alan must get Charlie's blood, and once he get the blood he must give it to Tony. Oh, Howlin, you really made a stupid deal with the devil. Anyways, guys, that is the end of my recap on episode 10 of Pitbabe Series 2. Stay tuned for episode 11.